If a conversation started by email, people tend to be more aggressive in their emails than they would when you're speaking to them or the telephone. So I like to get to that telephone conversation and have it's called a conversation or a chat as opposed to a negotiation.
The topic of challenging conversations comes up a lot. What's the best way to prepare for this, or how do you prepare for challenging conversations?
Well, first of all, instead of thinking of yourself, put yourself in the other person's shoes and think, what's the common ground that we could find during our conversation? And that's always a good starting point. So I always start my challenging conversations with thanking a person. So thanking them, I work in the not-for-profit sector and I work with a lot of volunteers. And I don't think we as Canadian managers thank each other enough or pat each other on the back. I don't think we're very good at that. So it's acknowledging effort and time that people invest. And people, if they're volunteering their time, might tend to be very passionate about what they're doing, and that's where a challenging conversation can come from because they're passionate, they're attached to an idea. So I start by thanking them for their time, finding the common ground. So for instance, a contract negotiation I was involved in recently, there was a major clause that people disagreed with. And I said, yeah, but there's 28 other clauses that we do agree on. So let's start off by, sharing that we do agree on 28 clauses. Don't prolong a conversation if you think that you're not going to get a result that you can both live with, because then you may just be wasting your time. But it's very important to listen to what the other person is saying in the conversation, for them to hear that you're listening. So listen, and at the end of the conversation, you would end again by thanking them. So you start by thanking them, you end by thanking them. But also, you have to live with the result that you've achieved in the conversation. And I find that we as women, there was a great study in the Harvard Business Review on women tend to internalize and linger on maybe a challenging conversation that didn't go well, whereas a man might say, oh, it's just a battle, I'll go on to win another day. These are quotes from the article. And so I think we as women have to learn to deal with the challenging conversations, compartmentalize it afterwards, and not linger or beat ourselves up about a conversation that maybe didn't go our way.